Hello, everybody. My name is Helium Lemon 15. Today is January 7th. This is part 18 of Timespinner. Today's a Tuesday. It's an afternoon. I have a lot of energy, and I also went across the street to get a cappuccino. And now it seems like my energy's sort of fading already, does not bode well. Um, so I booted up Timespinner for the first time in a few weeks. Um, the last time we played Timespinner was when we faced off against that weird boss that was basically like a Chozo from Metroid, except not. I keep wanting to call it, Zardoz, but I know that that's an obscure Sean Connery movie, but I feel like it had something with X in the name. But yeah, Zardoz is an obscure Sean Connery movie. Um, uh, where Sean Connery like wears a Speedo the whole time. And the name comes from the Wizard of Oz. They just took Zard out of Wizard, and it's really stupid. So here is, I don't know, I had a recording session last night where, of this game, not of music, but of this game. I played this game and recorded it. And I was just like, let's just explore, because, like, I haven't booted this game up in a few weeks. Let's just see where we're at. And I was honestly kind of surprised. I was like, I didn't know where we were at. And I was like, oh, I really haven't done anything on this game in a few weeks because, well, let's see, I've been traveling for the holidays. Oh wow, it says 96% of the map is complete. I don't know if that's total or if that's just for the past. It might be just for the past. I'm assuming those gaps are just gaps and not hidden rooms or anything. Oh, I was like, oh, we could go underwater there. We could cross that gap there. And the most like significant thing we've gotten in the past few episodes is when we went to Amadeus's laboratory and got the ability to fly, basically. Or, as I like to call it, the ability to yeet. And yeet has become my favorite word in the last few days. It's been an interesting last few days. I don't know how much into depth I'm going to get about it. I mean, my girlfriend saved my life at 3 a.m. I don't know. I don't know if I want to, if I have the energy to tell that whole story right now. Plus, I feel stupid. I feel like I wasted, like, $400 on a locksmith and a lock replacement when I had a spare key in my wallet the whole time. But basically, like, I don't think it helped that it was, like, cold weather because it's January. But it was, like, in the 30s, and it was fun because I, like, was not wearing a heavy enough coat, and, I don't know, I was hanging out late, just, like, talking with my girlfriend at her house, and then she drove me back to Baltimore, which was like 40 minutes, and we were like, my goodness, it's 3 a.m., I should probably get you home. And I was like, but I could just crash on your couch, and then she was like, well, I'm not sure if that would be kosher. And I was like, okay, my key is stuck in the lock. So she drove to Baltimore at 3 a.m. I was slightly panicking. I was also cold, and I was like calling 911. They were like, well, like, we can send a police officer, but we can't send a locksmith. And I was like, really? As you can tell, I don't really like talking about this because it was a stressful situation. So, anyway. But then we made up for it. I went, like, back to my girlfriend's house on Sunday. She made pizza. It was really good. We watched Labyrinth, like the Jim Henson Labyrinth from 1987 with David Bowie in a crazy wig. I don't know, we sort of Netflixed and chilled for a bit. It was interesting. We were like, oh no, here we are, two good Christian kids, and here we are Netflix and chilling. But it was a fun weekend. Besides her having to like save my life at 3 a.m. Anyway, here we are just like yeeting through the sealed caves or the forgotten caves. I don't know. They have one name in the past and one name in the present. Yay, I actually called them the right thing. But there's this one like gap at the top of the waterfall that you can cross, and because the map is pretty much the exact same, just like with a different vibe in the past and the present, you can eat this this gap, this clearing twice, and get like a different reward each time. So here we are doing it in the past when the music is like a bit more cool and nostalgic. It's more nostalgic, it's not like creepy. I mean, it's like slightly creepy, but it's not like creepy. Like, it's not full of poisonous, rotten dragons. It's just more like normal and melancholy. Whereas the present version of it is a lot more desolate and full of poisonous dragons, and the music is like creepy. Liminal Spaces, a playlist. You're inside a Lovecraftian... Oh, wait, here's the gap. Yeet across the gap. And, oh my goodness, 4 treasures. Gold ring, essence crystal, elemental beads, and gold necklace. So we can go back to what's-her-face and mess around with that stuff. I don't know, I shouldn't sing along with the music too much because my commentary might not sync up. In other words, I got a lot of books for Christmas. I also got some books. From, like, it was outside somebody's building. Yay, level up. Outside somebody's building, they had a box full of free books, and I was like, free books? This just made my day a lot better. So I was like, yes, I want to read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I've read, I want to say 3 Jane Austen books already. Persuasion, Emma, and Pride and Prejudice. So I do want to read the complete works of Jane Austen because I know it's only like 6 full novels. Is it 6 or 7? It might be 7 including Sanditon, which is the unfinished one. And I know it has been finished by like a contemporary author, but that doesn't feel like authentic to me. Like, I know that contemporary authors can do a good job of finishing classic works, but I mean, if it's not Jane Austen, it's not Jane Austen. I don't know, and you can say the same thing, like, about music. Like, I don't know, to get really nerdy here, but, like, you know, Mussorgsky didn't finish Boris Godunov. Is it Boris... Or, I know he didn't finish Night on Bald Mountain. Rimsky-Korsakov had to finish it for him. I don't know if Boris Godunov is the same deal, but anyway, we just got really nerdy here, and I probably lost 96.7 of my audience. Anyway, my girlfriend and I have this new favorite place. It's called Plum Crazy Diner. It's in her neck of the woods, so I want to say it's in, like, Eldersburg, Maryland, or one of those places. This place really kicked my ass because there are a lot of enemies that can poison you. When I'm feeling lazy and I'm just, like, exploring and shit, I just like to tank the damage because you get plenty of invincibility frames and you can just run through those enemies. But you really don't... Like, if you die, your progress will be reset to the last time that you saved. and you know, you can't save just anywhere, you can only save in the save rooms, yada yada. You do really want to be careful about your health in this game, so this is why I, you know, open the freaking pause menu so many times. Oh yeah, in other words, so, I ended up... So, for some reason, I'm not sure, maybe it was like an automatic update or something, I've been using Streamlabs OBS instead of OBS Studio. I don't really know the difference, but I figured I ought to switch to normal OBS Studio. Because, hey, I'm not a streamer, not yet anyway. Not unless I, you know, want to say screw it and try to start a streaming channel. That sounds like a lot of work, but I would like it. It sounds like fun. I honestly don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, I hate to sound pessimistic about it, but sometimes I really don't know what I'm doing with my life. But that's way beside the point. So I uninstalled Streamlabs OBS. I got the latest version of OBS Studio. And I tested it because I know OBS Studio was really buggy with a program on my computer called MIDI's to Jam 2. Originally known as MIDI Jam, but like they gave it an update and they gave it a clever name with like the number 2. They were like MIDI's to Jam 2. It's like a fun little program that makes like automatic music videos out of your MIDI files. Am I poisoned? No, I did the antidote, and now I'm poisoned again. That's why I love this area so much, because everything poisons you. It's really fun, hooray! Not getting angry. I'm not angry. Anyway, Streamlabs was really buggy whenever it had wanted to record MIDIs to Jam 2, and I was trying to make a few videos with it on my main channel, but I was just like, these videos are buggy, like they are watchable, but they are not great quality. And so I was like, what am I doing it wrong? I have Streamlabs OBS, but it's not OBS Studio, so maybe that's the problem. And then I was like, I was talking to my girlfriend about it because I was like, I had, you know, a few serendipitous experiences after like moving to Baltimore and living here for a few months. And one of them was I was playing through Pajama Sam 2, Thunder and Lightning Aren't So Frightening for the first time, and there's a character in the kitchen who says, you know, Baltimore is actually one of my favorite cities. And it was like really serendipitous, and I felt really proud of like, hey, I'm in Baltimore. And I'm really liking it. It's a really interesting city, different from New York. It took me a few months. It was kind of during the fall that I fell in love with it. During the summer, I really didn't like it, but during the fall, I kind of fell in love with it. And I was like, I could see myself living here. So it was because Pajama Sam 2 is kind of an LP that I've been wanting to do for a while. And it was like a couple months ago that I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna do it. So I opened up the game, tried recording it, and it was just a black screen. It didn't show up on the video. And I was like, it was bad. I was like screaming and cursing like last month because I realized that like I reinstalled Pajama Sam 2 on my computer. I tried recording it, and I was like, it's just like a buggy black screen. And I realized that the game is kind of buggy when it starts up. Like the Scum VM logo kind of like flickers out of existence after like a millisecond. So I was like, shit, do I need to like figure out how to get like a ROM of the game? But then like I know nothing about emulators, so I was like, I was really tired, and this was only like 10 p.m., but granted I had a pretty sleepless weekend. And I was like up at 10 p.m. trying to like figure out how to use a Windows 3.1 emulator. or like get Pajama Sam 2 to work on DOSBox, and I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, well, maybe do I need to get a Camtasia? But I was like, well, Camtasia is such an old program. Like, if it doesn't work on OBS Studio, which is like a great program, it's free, but it's great. It might not work on Camtasia. So I was like, well, I usually when I play Pajama Sam, I play it on Mac. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but like, why don't I just get the Mac, like, open Steam on my Mac, and get OBS Studio on my Mac, and do it from there. So that ended up working, kind of. So I'll see you in the next episode of Timespinner, where I will continue telling stories and ranting and stuff. Goodbye.